Before we get into this last video of the Comanche, if you could do all the YouTube things and subscribe and like the video to help this project get out there, I think it would be very cool if by us working on this Comanche, if we inspired somebody else to fix and repair a vehicle they enjoyed. I think that would be a really cool outcome, and it'd be cool to see other people do something cool because of us. Without further delay, let's watch this video. It has been over a year since this Jeep truck tragically crashed, but within that year we have made quite a lot of progress. I think that this vehicle, being almost 40 years old, looks better now than it ever has, but we still have a little ways to go. Let's go ahead and finish this project up.
So shortly after we got the Comanche back from the shop, there are quite a few processes we had to go through to get the components ready and looking like new. A lot of them were aftermarket parts to replace some of the stuff that was damaged or just completely deteriorated. Some of the more difficult stuff would probably be the gas tank. Putting that back in was no easy task. It went in easier than it came out because we figured a few new ways to do things, but it probably was the most difficult part of putting this piece of crap back together. So here are just a few of the things that we did. There was actually quite a bit more work, but this is just, you know, basic, some of the basic stuff. Water? I suppose so. We're on the final stages of finishing up the Comanche. We're gonna have to move it, so hopefully this is the first time it's starting, and hopefully it starts. So here we go. Cool. Sweet. What are we doing? Sitting?
Yeah.
Pretty much unscrew.
Yeah.
In that case.
So, yeah. I hope I'm in shot anyways. I think I am.
I assume we're gonna have a lot of cuts.
Yeah.
What we just like talk and then look up kind of thing?
Yeah. So, we've had this thing done for how long now?
I'd say it's completed about 2 months ago.
2 months?
Fully completed 2 months ago.
Well, we've been using it for like daily commuter to school.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Yeah, and
kind of forced into action.
So yeah, what do you think about that? How has it performed as a daily driver?
Well, it's performed well mechanically, but as far as being a practical daily driver, I mean, it shows that it's just about 40 years old. So
how's that? What are the downsides of driving a 40-year-old vehicle?
Well, it's only got I think it's 107 horsepower and 4 gears, so it's kind of cumbersome in stop and go traffic. Well, it's a project vehicle that we didn't anticipate throwing it into service, but because of my primary vehicle not being operational, kind of forced this thing, even as a project, to go back into service.
Yeah, well,
didn't expect that. Didn't plan that either.
Despite its like shortcomings, like in traffic, trying to keep this thing, just driving it around the city.
Yeah.
Like it still holds its own. for sure, right?
I'd say, yeah. I mean, it's got good amount of power at low speeds, like at about 40 miles an hour, and then after that, I mean, you're struggling.
And you bought this thing for $700?
$750 just about.
$750?
Yeah.
How much money have you put into it so far?
Let's say roughly 10,000.
And here's the $1,000,000 question: was it worth it?
Well, I think it was worth it. It wasn't really about should you do it. It was more about do I want to do it, and I did. And I did want to do it, so I did it. I don't regret it. I mean, sure, I could have spent it on other things, but I'm not aware of what those other things are even now. So.
Well, to be clear, there were times in this whole span of restoration where you were considering getting rid of it, right? Or did
towards
you?
the end. But I mean, now it's like, it's not really worth anything financially, and it's like I wouldn't gain anything by getting rid of it. So I'd basically lose an experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all for nothing.
I think it'll, like I was telling you yesterday, I think it'll be a cool thing to pull out of the back pocket, you know, when people come over and you have a unique vehicle that no one else has or no one else really sees anymore.
Well, yeah,
especially one that's restored as much as this is, you know.
Well, yeah, it's going to be an interesting story to tell that most people wouldn't. I mean, like, who takes a base model Jeep Comanche and, you know, basically resurrects it, so to speak, and then throws it back into daily use?
Now that your actual daily driver is fixed, where will this be? Where will this Jeep be?
Well, it's not really a winter vehicle. It's just two-wheel drive, so it's just going to be on standby and pick it up whenever we feel like picking it up. I don't think it'll ever become four-wheel drive. I kind of like how it's just a base model and very basic, very simple. So whatever does break is something that I can fix, or I can have somebody else fix cheaply.
Yeah.
So not that repairing, you know, structural damage is cheap, but that's kind of that was just an interesting adventure, really.
Yeah. Well, now that we're there, now that it's fully restored, I mean, there are still some problems with it.
Yeah.
Like, what do we have left to do?
Well, as far as getting it practical, we've got some grounding issues, and they might all be related. We got the horn that doesn't work, and then brake lights, signals start malfunctioning when you hit the brakes. So probably all connected. Not a big deal, but it's beyond my knowledge right now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and then there's the backup camera. So yeah, we put in the backup camera, and it works kind of like whenever it wants to.
It works whenever it grounds out. So or when it isn't grounding out. So that's related. Whenever you hit the brakes, backup camera, which is connected to the reverse lights, freaks out. So
yeah,
it's the same issue. But the backup camera, it's something that my Cherokee doesn't have, and I kind of enjoy it.
Yeah,
to be honest,
it's super nice. The last big issue I think is the leaking windshield, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's like the biggest
windshield,
thing.
which is something that we can fix.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a result of the rollover. I mean, in a way, it is a result of the rollover, but it's not like we have to fix structural damage to get it fixed. It's just a seal thing.
Bad seal.
Yeah.
But it's still very annoying to have water dripping down.
It's not practical. Then again, I mean, what about this project was part of the adventure, I guess.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that it's taken so long, but it didn't take long to put it all. Once we had it, you know, we just kind of put it back together at our own pace and started using it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, it had rolled over, started once,
right?
It blew out all the black smoke and stuff from being upside down, and
is low.
Oh.
In 10 seconds.
Dang. Giant bug.
I don't know what we were talking about. I think we'll see more of this in the future. Just the little work we'll do to it as we go along. But for now, that kind of wraps up the whole Comanche project. You know, we started with it rolled over with our
ambition
to get it factory.
That was the goal originally, but
yeah, I mean, and
reality sets in. It's kind of tough to do that, but we did get it to a point that most Comanches today aren't in.
Yeah, and I mean, well, like you said, a lot of people don't even realize it's even left the garage or the shop. Like, people think it's brand new, and
I mean, it's got 300,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it has 300,000 miles on it, but it's still mechanically sound and does its job just fine.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool.
As long as you're not taking it in the snow, it does its job just fine.
Like I did. But yeah, I think we've gone a long way, and I think that, I don't know, it's a happy ending in the end. You know?
Worth it. I'm satisfied. Don't regret it. It wasn't supposed to be practical. It was supposed to be fun, and it was.
Well, definitely fun. I just
memories.
can't believe the lengths we went to get it.
Yeah.
Like chopped
drastic
another
lengths.
Comanche.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I mean, we tore down a whole other Comanche just for the roof skin. Really, is what it needed.
There was so much.
Got all the money back from that too. We sold everything from that Comanche and made, I think, $100 plus more. So
$100 more.
Benefited from tearing the other Comanche apart.
Yeah, kind of finishes up the whole project. A lot of fun, I think. A lot of fun, like blood, sweat, and tears, and kind of deal. Crawling under there.
Oh yeah.
Trying to get the gas tank up in there.
Everything was a puzzle.
Yeah, but we got it together, and nothing bad has happened.
There's nothing that.
Well, apart from that hose that popped off yesterday going into town.
Oh yeah.
That was kind of weird.
That's simple fix.
But yeah, that was
not related.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like overall, it was a good project. We finished it, so yeah, if I can have a brief second of a moment of your time, like, comment, subscribe, Nande, and share it to all your Jeep lovers out there, Jeep people and stuff. If you like Jeeps, share it to them and have them subscribe too. So, Nande, I guess we'll see you around.